This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, Hazleton's mayor discusses his 2015 budget for the city and an international company closing its Hazleton location. Good evening and thanks for joining us at FYI. I'm Ken Cara. We'll get to our coverage at City Hall in a moment. Plus, we'll talk about Tuesday's election very shortly. But first, here's some headlines. Some bad economic news as a longtime city employer will close its doors for good. Weir Slurry Group Incorporated will permanently close its facility in Hazleton, resulting in the loss of 76 jobs. Hazleton Mayor Joe Iannuzzi learned the news today.
We won't lose tax as far as, property, but we'll lose tax as far as the EIT and the 205 Act, and so, yes, that's not a good thing.
The mayor says there are other possibilities for this building. The facility at 225 North Cedar Street opened not long after Hazleton City Hall opened its doors.
In 1916, they incorporated and became a company, and it was Barrett Engines, and then became Hazleton Pump, and then it became Weir's Hazleton. So it has a great history here. It was a great supplier of employment and a well-known worldwide supplier of pumps, and it was Hazleton based. It was made in Hazleton, and it's sad to see that go.
A press release issued by the company stated that the decision was taken to maintain Weir Minerals' competitiveness in what are changing market conditions. The plant closing will be effective at 12 a.m. on March 27, 2015. During a news conference this afternoon at Hazleton City Hall, Mayor Joe Iannuzzi unveiled his final budget for 2015. As expected, it includes an additional mill to fund 10 additional police officers.
We feel that this 10 officers will be an investment in our future. There'll be an investment in Hazleton. A safe community will increase the tax base. People that own homes will notice if we ever get these 10 officers that either the assessment will stabilize or will go up. This in turn will increase our tax base. Our assessment's been falling, and part of the assessment is the safety of the community. People want to buy homes where it's safe. They don't want to buy where it's unsafe. We get these 10 officers, we will do a turnaround.
When asked about council's suggestion to hire part-time officers, the mayor believes it would be difficult to control hours and scheduling with part-time officers.
It would be very difficult to control the hours and the scheduling, make sure we don't want these people to go over the 20 hours because then they become full-time officers, and we don't want that. So the best way to solve this problem is to do it the practical way, is to go at it full-time 10 full-time officers who are going to be here every day and are going to supplement the other full-time officers.
The spending plan also includes a procedural change that would allow for a full-time city solicitor who would attend council meetings. The mayor says he plans to ask council for a sit-down meeting to discuss the budget. Sam Galsky will have much more on the mayor's budget proposal in tomorrow's edition of the Standard Speaker. A man was robbed and stabbed early this morning in Hazleton. Around 5:30 a.m., police responded to the area of Alter and 2nd Streets. They found a man bleeding from his right arm. The victim told police that he was stabbed and robbed and that the suspect fled into an abandoned building on Alter Street. Officers found 24-year-old Yuri Jimenez Caraballo hiding in the basement area. He was charged with robbery, aggravated assault, and criminal trespass. The victim was life-flighted to Lehigh Valley Hospital in Allentown. 2 people were shot over the weekend in the area of 1st and Wyoming Streets in Hazleton. It happened around 1 a.m. on Saturday. According to police, 2 males were transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley and Cedar Crest hospitals for treatment of gunshot wounds. No other details were released. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to call Hazleton Police, and all replies will be kept confidential. Tomorrow is Election Day. FYI's Lisa Sugart sat down with Standard Speaker Managing Editor Mark Ketcher to talk about some of the races we will be watching.
Pleased to be joined by Mark Katcher, the managing editor of the Hazleton Standard-Speaker, to talk about some of the important races that we will be watching tomorrow night. Mark, which ones are important to the Speaker?
Sure. We have three that we're looking at, aside from the governor's race, which I'm sure we'll get to in a moment. There's the race for the 17th Congressional District between the incumbent Democrat, Matt Cartwright, and his challenger, Republican, Dr. David Moylan of Schuylkill County. These districts were realigned not too long ago, and they stretch far and wide. The 17th begins in Schuylkill County to the south, but then it stretches to the east of Hazleton, kind of wraps around, and comes back to the north and includes Wilkes-Barre and Scranton. So while people in Schuylkill County are very familiar with Dr. David Moylan, the folks to the north may not be. And that's really the challenge for a lot of these legislators in these realigned districts. And that's to get their name recognition out there, again, far and wide, from one end of the district to the other. So that's one race we're watching. Should be interesting. I know in the last few days here it's gotten hotly contested. I know Matt Cartwright and Dr. David Moylan have been running advertisements. So I think both feel that the seat is within reach. The other is familiar to Hazleton residents because the seat is held by its former mayor, Lou Barletta. He's the Republican incumbent in the 11th Congressional District, and his challenger is Democrat, and it's Andy Ostrowski, and he's a relative newcomer to the world of politics. He's never run for political office before. He's never held political office obviously. So he's a newcomer. He's campaigned mainly on a platform of judicial reform. So we'll see where that one comes down. I think it's widely regarded that Lou Barletta is the favorite in the race. But that being said, all of these legislators at one time or another were the challenger, and they were challenging the incumbent. So again, we'll see what happens tomorrow. And then the third race we're watching, and this is more specific to our Carbon County readers, and that would be the one for the 122nd Legislative District, currently held by Republican Doyle Heffley. His challenger is Democrat Patty Borger. She is a tree farm owner in southern Carbon County. Again, a relative newcomer to the political arena. So she's taking a shot at Doyle Heffley's seat. He's been in there for at least 4 years, I believe. So he's familiar to the folks of Carbon County. Before him, it was Keith McCall, and he was very well entrenched in there. For a long time, a democratically held seat, and switched to a Republican seat when Doyle Heffley won the election there. So those are the three main races that we're watching. There's some other races. They're really not races at all because there are no competition. And Tara Toohill is unopposed. John Udicek is unopposed. So those are shoe-ins. Won't have to do much on those races. It's really those other three that we're watching in addition to the governor's race.
And we saw the governor in Hazleton on Saturday, so the campaigning going up to the wire.
Sure, he was here on Saturday. I know he has a full schedule today, which is the day before Election Day. He's crisscrossing the state, I guess, in a jet airplane. So trying to hit really all the major media markets, and I'm sure Tom Wolf is doing the same. As you know, the polls have showed that Tom Wolf is pretty well ahead in that race. The gap was as much as 15 percentage points maybe a month ago. Our last Franklin and Marshall poll that we had reported on in our newspaper showed that the gap had close to about 9 percentage points, but that's still a pretty healthy lead for Tom Wolf. So conventional wisdom is that Mr. Wolf will be the new governor, but again, as I said, there have been surprises, and that's why we go out on Election Day and vote, and we really never know what's going to happen until those results come in.
Absolutely. The polls open tomorrow at 8 a.m. They're open until 8 p.m. or 7 a.m. they open.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. they open, and they're open until 8 p.m. And it will be decided by you, the voters, so it depends on how many people actually get to the polls and cast their ballots. And remember, it's a privilege we all have, and we should take advantage of it.
Thank you, Lisa. Meanwhile, SSPTV is proud to be your source for election night coverage. Join the area's most experienced team tomorrow night from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Sam Lassant Sr., along with political analyst Dr. David Sosar, Michael DeCosmo, and Rick Morelli, and some other special guests as well will be on the show. The area's most comprehensive election coverage starts tomorrow night, starting at 8 p.m. right here on SSPTV. Hazleton's own Joe Maddon has a 5-year deal to manage the Chicago Cubs. In a statement on the Cubs' official website, the team's president of baseball operations, Theo Epstein, says Maddon may be as well suited as anyone in the industry to manage the challenges that lie ahead of us. And the major challenge for the Cubs is winning the team's first championship in over 100 years. Coming up next on FYI, it's our weekly fitness segment, and later we'll release the final Cole scale of 2014 and get you ready for the high school football playoffs.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Well, if you're looking to work out with someone one-on-one, they have it here at Core Fitness. You join us every Monday for some fitness tips, and we're back with Christy Book. And we're talking today about what you need to do to be certified to actually instruct in classes and also to be a personal trainer, which you are.
Right. There's 2 different types of certifications. You can do a group exercise certification that would qualify you to teach in front of a class or a group. And then you have your personal training certification, and that's your one-on-one. And you can also do small group with that personal training certification. Here at Core, we do have all of our instructors certified. It is not a requirement, but we do like to have that. We all attend continuing educations, whether that be in the field that we're teaching or something that we just want to learn more about. So it's a difficult thing to find somebody who's that into it, that really wants to do it. But I recommend that if it's something that you're interested in, first and foremost, you have to understand that it's not your workout anymore. It becomes your class's workout, it becomes your client's workout, and you have to be okay with that. That you know, if you're good enough, you can get your workout in, but you have to modify for anybody that's in your class, and you have to be personable. You're who these women look up to. So you want to do everything as best that you can. You want to encourage them. And what I like to tell the girls is to leave their negativity at the door, and I'll take care of the positivity in here. I will pump them up, praise them. It's a necessary tool because as women, you know, we batter ourselves every single day looking at these images.
Right. So how many people out there, rhetorical question, actually are satisfied with their bodies, whether they're a size 0 or a size 22 or a plus size woman? You know, there's always something that people are looking to look for.
Right. So if you're working towards something like that, you have a goal for your body and you want to get better, and it's something that you love to do, I recommend that you look into the avenues of the certifications. There's many certifications that you can do online. There's on-site certifications. You can come in here and train. We are looking for instructors. We'd love to have them. It's a difficult thing to find, but if you're interested in it and you think that you can be that type of leader, we'd love to hear from you.
Nice. So if you're interested, you can call here at Core Fitness. Next week, we are going to show you some results and have some testimonials if you're looking to work one-on-one with a personal trainer like Chris here or someone here at Core Fitness. So next week, we're going to meet someone who's been training with you for some time now.
Yep, and we're going to talk about flat bellies after babies.
All right. That's next week right here on FYI.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Blue skies on 15th Street in Hazleton. That's Eddie's American Diner, and my mind is starting to wander to lobster mac and cheese. I saw that on their menu. So let's go to the weather from the National Weather Service. Tonight, mostly cloudy. The low 35 degrees on the extended forecast. Tuesday looks mostly sunny. It stays warm around the area, 59 degrees the high at night. The low will be 45. On Wednesday, we stay in the upper 50s, 20% chance of showers Wednesday night. That jumps up to a 30% chance of showers. On Thursday, showers are likely. The high will be 52 degrees. And on Thursday night, 60% chance of showers. The low will be 38. On Friday, 40% chance of showers in the area. The high 44 as it cools down a bit. And Friday night for football, the low will be 30 degrees. Now our green screen, your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily 816, the big 4 7020, Quinto 33289, and Treasure Hunt 3 12 15 18 22. The FYI Football Rewind is coming up next.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
3 of our 6 local football teams are heading to the district playoffs. We'll get to that in a moment. And the final Cole scale of the year is ahead, but patience, my friends. Let's hit rewind first and take a look back at Marion's 27-8 victory over rival Tamaqua on Halloween. It's Halloween, and picture Marion's offense as a big yellow bulldozer eating up yards, and KJ Snurr is a spark plug because he gets things going with 2 big runs of 10-plus yards. But the bulldozer needs a jump here, and Nicholas Sully is the jumper cables. He gets the first down on 4th and 4. So this special Marion bulldozer can fly. PennDOT should look into this technology. Ethan Kuczynski finds Angela Meskornik, and Marion leads 7-0. And now here's Tamaqua's Colin Moyer trying to ruin Marion's Halloween like someone with their porch lights off during trick-or-treating hours. Ernie Shilko finds Moyer on 3rd and 5 on this play-action pass for a first down, and they also get a king-size Twix bar as a bonus. But on 4th and 7 in Marion territory, a fumble on the snap costs the Raiders, and the Colts offense comes galloping back onto the field. And keeping KJ Snurr safe here like reflectors on Halloween costumes, it's Sully and I believe Christopher Weber with some nice blocks, and Snurr is gone. 14-0 Marion. On the next Raider possession, the ball is on the ground again, and Aaron D'Angelo picks it up for the Colts, and the Marion fans are celebrating like they just saw the Great Pumpkin. Kuczynski says, "Aaron, that's really cool what you just did on defense, and I'm going to share some of my Sour Patch Kids with you." Marion's QB hits the tight end D'Angelo for another Colts touchdown. They would go on to win 27-8. 3 teams moving on to the playoffs, and guess what? 3 teams sitting in the anthracite grade in our Cole scale, the final Cole scale of the year. Nord Schuylkill is our kings of the Cole. They finished the season 10-0, a perfect regular season, and they finish it off with a 59-0 win over Panther Valley. It's the 7th time this season they've held an opponent under 10 points, and it's the 7th straight time that they've scored over 40 points. Even this former soccer player knows that's good. The men of Marion, they finished 2nd overall in our Cole scale with 4 straight wins to close out the year. And Monoy area, they knock off rival Shenandoah Valley, and for the first time all year, jump into the anthracite grade, they finish 5-5. Tamaqua, they had a challenge down the stretch with 3 tough teams to finish out the season, and they finished with 3 straight losses and end their season at 5-5 and in our bituminous grade. These 2 teams have occupied the lignite grade all year. Hazelton area, they showed flashes at times, and they have a lot of young starters as they look to build toward 2015. And the Blue Devils, they will line up one more time this week against Kutztown in a contingency game, according to the Standard Speaker Sam Matta. And he has coverage of their rivalry game with Monoy area in the Standard Speaker from over the weekend. You can go to standardspeaker.com for that. The 462 football crew has some great seniors who will have one more game. Speaking of playoffs, here's what the brackets look like. District 11 AA North Schuylkill, they're the number 1 seed. They will take on Palmerton. Both of these games are on Friday night. In the single A playoffs, Pius the 10th, they get the top seed. They'll host Monoy area. Men of Marion, Marion Catholic, they'll be at home of Men of Marion Stadium. They'll play Williams Valley on Friday. Turning our attention to the PIAA Cross Country Championships, Marion's Tina Caparel ended her freshman season with a bang, finishing 16th at States with a time of 20 minutes and 3 seconds, earning her a medal. The Hazelton area boys, they took 19th at the state championship after winning the District 2 championship.
Welcome to Trivia Treats again on this first Monday in November. Hi, everybody. I can't believe it. And these next 2 pieces of trivia are also kind of unbelievable. On this very day, in 1961, 53 years ago, the Boston Patriots beat the Dallas Texans in an AFC game at Nickerson Field in Boston with the help of a 12th man. Trailing 28-21 with 11 seconds remaining, Dallas had the ball as fans poured onto the field and surrounded the gridiron, especially behind the end zone. What turned out to be the final play was when Patriots quarterback scrambled while being chased around in the backfield. He finally tried to hit his wide receiver in the middle of the end zone, but the ball bounced away incomplete and the clock ran out. But after the game, when Texans coach Hank Strand reviewed that last play on film, he noticed that a fan in a raincoat had wandered into the end zone on the play and knocked away the ball before disappearing back into the crowd undetected by the referees. Mother of God, how could that happen? But it did, 53 years ago today. 4 years ago, in 2010, in a matchup of two Texas high school football teams, Jacksonville High defeated Nacogdoches High 84-81 in 12 overtimes. The game lasted 5.5 hours, ending at 12:54 a.m. Jacksonville needed only to win to qualify for the playoffs. Nacogdoches, however, had to win by at least 8 points to keep their postseason dreams alive. Several times during the overtime periods, Nacogdoches had the second possession and tied the score with a touchdown, but intentionally threw the ball away on a 2-point conversion attempt to force another extra period and an opportunity to win by 8. In the 12th overtime, Nacogdoches had the first possession, but fumbled inside the 10-yard line. Jacksonville then drove the ball to the 2-yard line before booting a game-winning 19-yard field goal. Final score again, Jacksonville High 84, Nacogdoches High 81. Just imagine the game at Harmon Geist lasting till 1 a.m. Only players, coaches, and parents would still be there. Anyway, both teams and schools had the following day off. Saturday, and I'm off till Friday. See you then. Be a good sport. Stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, St. Michael's Church in Shenandoah will be holding a Chinese auction Sunday, November 9th. Doors open at noon, auction begins at 1:30, and light lunch will also be available. Cost is $4 per person. For more information, please call 570-462-0809. And finally, St. James Church in Drifton will be holding their Parish Bazaar Saturday, November 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Be having homemade food, attic treasures, basket auctions, and much more. The church is located on Route 940 between Freeland and Evervale. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Donald E. Lesser of Whitehaven. Funeral will be held Wednesday at 11 a.m. from the Cotterill Petrilli Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Thomas Barna of McAdoo. The McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home will announce complete arrangements. Emma K. Rasinko of Hazleton. Mass will be held Saturday from the St. Cyril Methodius Parish. And Cora Irene Thomas of West Hazleton. Memorial is Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the Hazel Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is John Waugh of Quaking. John, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
On Tuesday, election night coverage on SSPTV begins at 8 p.m. FYI will begin at 5 p.m. as usual. Until then, take it easy, everyone.